Reg, good morning. Let me start with a poll question. What would be more of a surprise/upset? Celtics beat the Cavs or Rockets beat the Warriors?
Oh, definitely Celtics beating the Cavs. Look, no one expected, especially when Gordon Hayward went down in Game 1, for the Celtics to have one of the top two records in the Eastern Conference. When Kyrie, it was found out, was going to have extended knee surgery and was going to miss the playoffs entirely, no one was counting on Boston to get past Milwaukee, let alone Philadelphia, and now facing LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I certainly think what the Celtics have done throughout this season, what Brad Stevens has done with these guys has been truly remarkable. So them getting past LeBron James, to me, would be a bigger upset. Look, the Rockets have warriors. I mean, they got the potential MVP in James Harden. We saw what Chris Paul did in that Game 5, 41 points, closeout victory versus Utah. They've got weapons, and they've got the best record, and they've got home court advantage. So it'd be less of an upset if they beat the Warriors, even though they are the defending champs. What Boston has done has just been fantastic for the league.
Should LeBron be a little more upset after Game 1?
No, because I do agree with his comments, because I approached games during the playoffs, especially series that when we started on the road, them being a fill-out series. You certainly try to win Game 1 if you have the opportunity. If it's a close game, you obviously go after it. But when you're getting blown out, I do feel a lot of times, and how, as I approached Game 1, it was a fill-out series. See how they're guarding you. See what they're going to do. See how deep they're going to go into their bench. And once, I think, after that first quarter, when it was like, 39 to 17 or whatever, I think he took the rest of that game to try to figure out how is Marcus Morris, how is Smart, how is Tatum, Brown, how are they defending me and us? Look, they missed a lot of shots, particularly threes, which that's why they've been so successful not only this year but throughout the run during the playoffs, because they've been so efficient from the three-point line. The Celtics took all that away. So I think this was more of a feeling-out process game for LeBron. Now, look, if they lose Game 2 and they play pretty much the same way, this series is a wrap. But I don't think it's time to panic. Remember, they lost Game 1 versus Indiana and found a way to win it in 7. So I think the real parameter will be Game 2, how they approach it. Look, Kevin Love must be better, but, I mean, it's so simple in a game of basketball. It's a make-or-miss league. They've got to be better effectively shooting the basketball from 3. And really, that was regular season defense that they played against the Boston Celtics in Game 1. They've got to be much crisper and sharper at the defensive end as well.
Here's LeBron after the game reciting a 2-minute stretch where he thinks this decided the game, and the Danettes and I differ on how impressive this is. Here's LeBron.
Do you have any idea what, I mean, I think they scored 7 quick ones. Anything, what happened there?
What happened? We ran them, the first possession, we ran them down all the way to 2 on the shot clock. Marcus Morris missed a jump shot, followed it up, they got a dunk. We came back down, we ran a set for Jordan Clarkson, and he came off and missed it. They rebounded it. And we came back on the defensive end, and we got a stop. They took it out on the sideline. Jason Tatum took the ball out, threw it to Marcus Smart in the short corner. He made a 3. We come back down, missed another shot. And then Tatum came down and went 94 feet, did a Euro step, and made a right-hand layup timeout. There you go.
A round of applause, Reg.
Look, as impressive as that is, every NBA player, particularly the greats, LeBron, you could ask Chris Paul, James Harden, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant in our series, they can recite games from their AAU days. Look, this was one thing that, as a player, you live and die and breathe the game. And as much game film as you watch, you just play the game. And it is in a constant loop in your head after the game, as you're walking to the bus, as you're on the bus back to the hotel, while you're on the plane. you are constantly replaying the games where you can be better, where they made runs. Look, I still shake my head when I'm on a long bike ride on certain plays against the Knicks and against Jordan. I think it's Kobe and Shaq and the Lakers. You just keep replaying in loops certain sections of games, to this day. So as impressive as it is for LeBron James, there's a lot of players with that high IQ that could verbatim tell you exactly what happened throughout the course of a game, throughout their careers, back to their AAU days. But I got to give him applause because to him that was an important stretch of the game in that third quarter where they finally started to make a run where things went south for them.
Reggie's on the call. Game 1, Western Conference Finals tonight between the Warriors and the Rockets. Give me an over-under on the number of three-pointers attempted in Game 1 in this series.
Wow. Well, the Rockets are going to shoot 40-plus.
Yeah.
So that's a given. They've been doing that throughout the playoffs, though they were down, I would say, 5 to 7 threes in that Utah series because Utah's a really good defensive team. I say the Rockets shoot 35. So I'm going to say there's going to be about 30 to 35. There's going to be 70-plus threes tonight. And I am actually going to play 5 minutes because of that. I will get 2.5 minutes with the Rockets and 2.5 minutes. This is my kind of game tonight.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
It's going to be great. I mean, and this is like, Foreman and Ali, Liston, Ali. This is one of those heavyweights where you're going to remember where you were throughout this series because all season long, people were like, Houston Rockets, they're the one team that's built to take on the Golden State Warriors. We want the Warriors. We want the champs. Well, guess what?
You get
the champ.
Yeah.
You get the opportunity, and you have the champs in your building to start games 1 and 2. Let's go at it.
The most valuable player in this series is going to be who? Not the best, most valuable.
For the Rockets, it will be Clint Capella defensively because they are going to switch everything, especially the high screen and roll with Steph Curry. And in the series between Minnesota and Utah, the ability for Capella to keep the guards in front and contest every shot made it very difficult for those opposing teams. So his efforts at both ends of the floor have been spectacular. I think he's been the second best player. You could almost make a case for him being the best player because, let's face it, James Harden's been great in games 1 in both series, but he's been up and down. And Chris Paul has had flashes, but the guy that's been the most steady has been Capella. So Capella for the Rockets, and I will say Klay Thompson, because so much focus is going to be on Steph and KD. Klay is just going to be able to roam free offensively, and when he's clicking offensively, it takes him to a different level. But more importantly, I think he's going to start off being the primary defender on James Harden, though there's going to be like 5 guys guarding him. But defensively, his work on James Harden will be huge. So I think Thompson for the Warriors and Capella for the Rockets.
Kobe Bryant echoed what I've been saying all season long, that maybe Ben Simmons is right-handed, not left-handed, and you got to break that jumper down here. Reg, what do you do with Ben Simmons? You already have Markelle Fultz, who's got issues with his jumper. Ben Simmons, how much can you improve that jump shot?
Well, absolutely you can improve it a lot, but Ben Simmons has to want to improve. If I'm Simmons, I am absolutely living in the gym this offseason. And I don't care if he's left, right-handed, if it's a push shot, if it's a mama shot, and he shoots it with both hands. He has to put the time and work in it. And to me, all the great players always come back adding something. That's the last thing he really needs to his game. And this will be his 3rd year, even though people are calling him a rookie. I think if he adds a jump shot, and it doesn't have to be all the way to the three-point line, but if he can add a 15, an 18, and maybe a long 22-footer, feet on the three-point line, this young man will be unstoppable because... But,
Reg, he doesn't have a 10-footer right now.
That's what I'm saying. He has to add that to his game. Look, that was the knock on LeBron James, right? He couldn't shoot. And he's not a great shooter now, but he keeps you honest shooter. Right now, Ben Simmons does not keep anyone honest. He just tries to bull you. And he can get away with that, but as you saw, for the longer he goes throughout the playoffs, and the better teams and the better coaches, they're going to take all those things away from him. It'll be good from a night-to-night basis during the regular season, but all your flaws get exposed the longer you hang around. Late April, all of May, and if you want to get into June, those warts start coming to the surface.
Yeah, I just think it's difficult. There's no form there whatsoever. Even on his free throws, you can see that.
It doesn't have to be perfect. He just has to keep the defense honest. I would stay in the lab. He needs 2 to 3 hours, and he doesn't need a guru shooting coach. He needs his boys, all right, that I'm sure are on the payroll.
Yeah, but Reg, if I gave you 4 months, and that's what he's going to have here, 4 months to get that jumper ready for the regular season, what would you do with Ben Simmons?
It's repetition. It's repetition, repetition, repetition. And I would start, like you said, I would start at 10 to 12 feet, and I would go around the world, certain spots. I don't need to be Steph Curry and going through my legs and pull up. I need spot shooting. So we're going to start 10 feet on the baseline, and we're going to shoot 100. And you've got to make 75% of them. Then we're going to go to the next spot, the 45-degree angle. Shoot 100 of them, and you got to make 75% of them. All right, and we're going to stay here until you get it done. If you don't like it, then you're not as great as we all thought you wanted to be.
But if you continue to shoot it, but Reg, if you have he has bad form. He has to improve his form before he does any of that stuff. Because all you're doing is
come with repetition, Theodore. That's what I'm saying. Right now, I think he just shoots to be shooting, and I don't care about the form. I had terrible looking form. But to me, it was repetition. I got comfortable with the way I shot.
But you had great follow-through, though. Your follow-through, it's like your shot was like Jim Furyk's golf shot. It may not look normal or pretty, but at the end, you're at the same spot that everybody else is, and that's all that matters. Ben doesn't get there.
At the end of the day, the more repetition I would do with him if I was working with him, that will come in time. Because there are certain shots when he does shoot them, he does hold up the gooseneck. It might not look pretty, but he is trying.
Yeah. Would you rather have Lonzo Ball's shot or the potential that Ben Simmons may have with his shot?
Man, that is a great call. I would go with Ben Simmons right now.
Wow, Reg.
I would go with Ben Simmons right now.
Wow, Reg, that's the wrong answer. At least Lonzo has.
I would go with Ben Simmons right now.
Who's a better shooter? Who's a better shooter at the end of their career? As we look back, Lonzo Ball or Ben Simmons?
Oh, let's book this. Well, look, hold on. First of all, Ball is going to he's going to take way more threes by the end of their career than Simmons. So it's hard to base that because Simmons will take less threes. But a higher percentage will be.
Oh, well, that'd be Ben.
After year 5, let's do that. Let's revisit this after year 5. Who has the better percentage?
Yeah, but Ben all of his shots are 4 feet in. He's 0 for 11 from 3-point range. I don't know what he shot from 5 feet out, but
0 for 11. No, just kidding.
No, he doesn't shoot well. Like his range is 4 feet.
It's a coming. And
Lonzo
look out for the league.
Lonzo hit 93s this year. Now, granted, 30%, but he hit 93s this year.
Ben Simmons will have 93s.
By year 5?
By year 5.
Is that total of 5 years?
Total.
90?
Total.
Could you beat, if I blindfolded you, could you beat Ben Simmons in a three-point shooting contest?
I want to take those odds. Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
And you know what? I'd probably begrudgingly go with you.
Thank you.
Yes, I probably would. I would just
Ben Simmons, please get into the lab to prove Theodore and I wrong. Because when you get a three-point shot, it's going to be lights out. You got to keep them honest. That's all that's remaining in your game.
Would you rather have Lonzo Ball, Donovan Mitchell, or Ben Simmons' future?
Ben Simmons.
Okay.
then Mitchell, then Ball.
Okay.
Now throw Tatum in there and all that it's a different story.
Would you
I
take
would go
Tatum
with-
over all of them?
No, I would take still Simmons.
Ooh.
Then, Tatum is good, man.
Yes, he is. But
Tatum is real good.
That's the future. That's the NBA future right there, man.
Yes.
That style.
He is going to be complete.
Yeah. Yeah, he's I would man, Tatum's pretty good, man.
Are you taking Tatum over Simmons? In 5 years, who would you want?
I'm going to go Tatum.
I can't argue with you. I can't.
Oh, by the way, are you in the Uncle Drew movie?
I am. Lights out, baby. Lights out. That's my character.
So are you playing?
Here's the thing. I'm not legally blind, but I've lost my vision. I was the best sniper on Uncle Drew's team back in the day on our record team. But Father Time has caught up to me, and I think I'm still the baddest shooter, but I brick everything. So getting into character was very difficult for me because I had to miss shots on purpose, and you know how hard that is for me.
Yes.
So the Daniel Day-Lewis had to come out of me, and the method acting was at its finest for me. So
that's great.
June 29th, Uncle Drew, the best cast every day. And here, by the way, the basketball scenes, Chris Webber and I, thank you very much, because when you watch basketball movies, you're like, that would not happen. Come on, that would not happen. Well, in all the basketball scenes, it did happen because we made sure of that. We were like, no. I mean, they had a guy on there doing it, and we're like, no. If y'all want us to do this movie, we're gonna make the basketball scenes look authentic.
So it's Kyrie as the star.
Kyrie's the star. We got Shaq as Big Fella. We got C-Webb as Preacher. We got Lisa Leslie, who is married to Preacher, as Betty Lou. We got Nate Robertson, who is mute and doesn't talk. His name is Boots, and my name is Lights Out, baby. Lights Out.
Look at you, gray hair and a beard in this movie.
Oh, yeah, I look terrible.
Kangol hat on.
That's what my future will look like. But every day shooting this in Atlanta for a month was fun. So we transformed what the record would look like in Atlanta, and you won't be able to tell the difference. And Kyrie was putting on it was probably his best work of the season. Maybe that's why he got hurt towards the end, because he put in so much work on the hard tops to make all these scenes look. They were unbelievable. But June 29th, it drops. Appreciate you, Lionsgate. It's going to be fun. And the premiere is in New York, so all you guys better come to the premiere.
Yeah.
The 26th, yes, in New York. All my Danettes are walking the red carpet with Reginald. All you guys are my dates, okay?
Yeah, but you know what?
Danettes are with me on the red carpet.
Reg, you're going to look like Coolidge, and we're the rest of the guys on the team in the white shadow. So
I don't care. You guys are my team, and y'all are walking the carpet with me.
I'm dribbling the red carpet.
I don't care how you get down it. Y'all are with me.
Have fun tonight. We'll be watching. Thank you, Reg.
You're the best, Theodore, and my Danette.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.